well when we're doing more leg work if you want to have a bit of a closer look. But yeah, if there's any bits, Qigong is chilled out and it's accessible and it reaches you where you're at. So if there's a movement you can't do, either leave that part out because that's absolutely fine, you're doing the rest of it, or come to me and say, have you got a modification for this? Because I can give you a modification. That's no problem at all. So yeah, Qigong then for our new ladies is yeah special to me. As you saw, I posted in the group that I'd had quite a lot of gains from it, but it's not a magic cure. It's just an accessible exercise and movement that I think most people can have a go at, and you can improve balance through this, physical balance, strength, posture, lung capacity, heart health. There's like a number of things. I quite work on like removing stress from the body and moving from fight and flight and going into more of a relaxed state. That's something I work with quite heavily. I think if we can get into a more relaxed state, we then go into our natural healing zone. So it's not like this is magic and it's going to heal you. You're going to heal yourself. You're going to put your body into a self-healing state. And that's going to reduce inflammation and that will reduce illness. That's where I'm coming from. So, yeah, I do believe in the magic side, but I also very much believe in the science behind it. So, you'll get a little bit of both of those from me. So, for instance, let's just bring our attention all the way down from our belly button. So, let's check in with the space just below our belly button to begin with. And we're going to start to do a little bit of attention to this point, flowing down the legs to the floor. And we're going to pay attention to the underneath of our feet. So this is going to be where we're grounding and we're connecting to the earth. This is one of the points we would work with. We're always trying to connect to the earth. This point that's just below the belly button, this is where we're representing the body. When I started, I spoke about the body, the power, the chi, the emotion, and the mind, consciousness, spirit, whatever you kind of connect to those areas. So we're going a little bit of intention now from the belly down the legs to the feet. That's all we're doing is just bringing our attention down and feeling this connection between those 2 points. And then after a while, we might start to notice there's maybe more feeling at the bottom of the feet, or the legs might start to tingle. And we're just setting up that connection to the ground because that's where we're pulling lots of fresh healing chi from. It's that connection to the ground. So this is the first point, and we're matching it up to these points in the body. We're going to take a nice couple of deep breaths here, just while we keep these 2 connection points. Start however's comfortable for you, and then I'll give you a little bit more guidance from this. So with a Qigong breath, we are inhaling through the nose and we're slowly exhaling through the mouth. We're trying to make those exhales longer, softer, slower. The inhales can be really whatever pace you like, as long as it's through the nose. An extra step to this breathing is that we are bringing the attention back down to that point in the belly again. And we're going to expand that point outwards when we're inhaling. If you want to put your hands on the belly now, you're welcome to give yourself a little bit of sensory feedback. So we're inhaling through the nose, we're expanding the belly, then the chest will naturally enlarge. And that all is just sinking back out slowly through the mouth. Lovely. And now we're going to bring the hands up a little bit and we're going to place the hands on the chest or the heart, whatever's comfortable. And if you haven't got the capabilities to even move your hands up today, just send the intention, the mind to this area on the chest. I'm going to just do a few breaths here now. We're sort of pulling the chi up through the body from that point underneath the feet. Then we've pulled up to the body, the belly button area. Now we're bringing that up the center of the body, up to the heart space, filling the chest. Bringing our attention from the feet, soles of the feet, up the legs, drawing up the body into the chest. Lovely. And you can bring the hands up if it's comfortable to rest just above the eyebrows. The fingertips are laying into the third eye point, so right between the eyebrows. I'm just going to do a few breaths here, as long as it's comfortable. And we're just going to pull the chi up now, a little bit further, waking up the brain and the mind. Bringing chi up from the floor, from the ground, up through the body, through the heart, into the cranial space now. And then you can let the arms fall so the palms are facing up onto the thighs. Okay, lovely. So we are just going to do a tiny bit more warm up meditation movement just to move us into a bit of a bigger movement. So this is going to start in this space in the belly button. We're going to do a spiral with the belly. This can be small or it can be a bit bigger. So we're spiraling the belly. We're just starting to wake that area up, moving into the hips to the side and bringing it forward. You might want to imagine that there's like a glowing ball bearing in the middle there and you're swishing it round and side like you're a little maze puzzle, moving it up through the core of the body. And it's going to come a bit higher. It's going to start to come into the chest. So we've got the whole diaphragm moving now. And as we spiral this ball bearing up through the chest, starting to get a little bit more space between the ribs. And that space is going to start to become available in the lungs as well. Lovely. Just coming a bit more up to the shoulders. This might look a little bit body poppy now. Then we're going to take it with the chin. So if the rest of the body wants to come in this joining, that's fine, or you can isolate it a little. And then finally, we're rolling this ball bearing all the way up to the top of the head. And it's almost going to come out. Half of the little ball bearing is going to start to pop out of the top of the head there. And like there's a little bit of a magnet on the top of the ball, it's going to lift the head up to the sky a little bit. So we're getting a little bit of space now created through the entire spine. Last little bit. And then we're going to pause, bring it to a stillness, just so we can get a little bit of a feel of what's happening in the body now. What areas feel like they're lighting up, or they might need a bit more chi sending when we come back down. Have a check-in of our state at this point. And then we're going to reverse it and we're going to send that. Am I reversing? No, this is reversing. See if you can remember which way you went. And then we're going to reverse it. So the top of the head is going to go into the neck. It's going down. This is like one of those chi donation pots at this point in time. Yes, circle it down into the shoulders. See how smooth you can make this. Some of you are making it smoother than me. Very good. Down into the chest, opening up the lungs and the ribs. The tension all in the diaphragm. And down into the belly. And I'm going to imagine it dispersing at this point in time. So it's going to start to spread light all around the abdomen and light up that whole area. And it's just going to start to sink into all the places that we decided we needed to deliver a little bit of chi. So you can just slowly bring that to a tiny sway or a rock. And when you want to slow it down a bit more, you can slowly bring it to some stillness. And just have a little check-in now. Send any buzzing energy to where it needs to go. Lovely. You might want to have a little wriggle of your fingers at this point. Okay. Okay, I might need to switch my camera now. And I'm just going to see if that will give me a slightly better view before we move on to some leg stuff. Oh, please work. Okay, down a bit. Okay, this is slightly different for me because I normally stand up for half the lesson, so I'm making some adjustments here. Not sure that's much better, but maybe it's clearer. Okay, so we're going to do some alternate leg raises to begin with. We are going to, oh, that's as far as it will go. Lift the ball of the foot up first. We're going to go onto the front of the foot. You can have your hands just resting on your thighs for now. So we're going into the front, the toes, and we're pulling up with the heel and then slowly dropping it down. We're going to do them individually and then we're going to alternate. So this is just to start waking up the foot, pulling up a little bit more chi through the earth. And if only do these foot exercises if they're right for you. We're going to swap to the other side, raising the foot up, dropping the foot down. Minor movement, but you'll feel it in the thigh, and you might feel it at the front of the leg, having a bit of a stretch there.
I'm sorry for all the cracking noises if you can hear it. That's my ankle.
Oh, yeah, I did hear it. How does it feel though? It's an okay crack.
Yeah, I've got EDS.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
right. Yeah, that's fine. I think, yeah, I can totally relate to that. So we're going to do a little bit of swapping side to side now, and we're going to add a bit of breath at the same time. So lots of Qigong, it matches a breath to a movement, but I like to kind of build it up because otherwise it can be a lot, and you guys are new. So also, yes, sorry, carry on. So yeah, you might hear some noises from me at this point. So we're going to work with the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain while we're doing some seated classes. So there might be a bit of switching around. We'll just take it slow. Don't worry if it's not doing it exactly like me. So I'm going to lift one heel up, and as I do so, I'm going to breathe in, and then I'm going to breathe out, and I'm going to slowly lower it down to the floor. Then we'll pause in the middle, and then we'll breathe in as we raise up on one side and breathe out as we lower on that side. Pause, switch to the other leg. Let's just have a little go, have a little think about breathing and moving different bits at the same time. Okay, and if that feels okay, we're going to make it a little bit harder. So we're going to raise this hand, so my palm is facing down towards my leg. You can keep both hands up and keep one on the other leg, but we're moving the opposite palm up. So we're raising and we're dropping. So we're raising the sole of the foot and the palm up.
Breathing at the same time.
And breathing at the same time, yeah.
Okay.
So exhale, going down. So we're sinking the palm, sinking the foot.
Is it just the heel or the whole foot?
Just the heel at this point, yeah. So heel goes up, palm goes up on opposite sides. And then we're sinking. So we're sinking the breath, we're sinking the palm, we're sinking the heel.
We're doing the same leg.
The sinking is on the opposite leg to the hand.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not sinking legs each time.
Not yet. I think that would be. Let's see how we get on.
I'm still saying.
Hello, Barney. Okay, shall we swap to the other leg? Let's lower it down nice and slowly. Pause for a moment. Let's check in with our postures. Are we feeling tense, or can we relax a little bit? Drop the shoulders a tiny bit. Maybe release some tension from the jaw or the face. Just let it melt a little bit. Excellent. Okay. Now we've all got to think about what next to do next. So on the opposite foot, we are going to raise the heel now. So let's just connect in with that point first, raising the heel up and down. Excellent. And now we're going to add in the hand as well. So we're raising the palm up and then we're dropping it down.
Raising up
Raising
and
up.
again, or the same.
So on this side is the only side my foot's raising, and the
Okay.
opposite side my hand is raising.
Yeah.
So only one foot's raising, the opposite. So we're raising up on one side, the hands going up on the other side, and then slowly sinking. Lifting up, sinking down. Does that feel okay? Have we got that? So if you want to try a little bit, adding the breath on this side. When I'm sinking, I'm exhaling and pushing the air out. And when I'm drawing up, I'm inhaling. Now, working with the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain does quite a lot, but I think I'm proving that it makes you not think about anything. So I've forgotten what all those amazing things are while I'm trying to do the action. It definitely helps you relax. That's one of them. But it does a couple other things. We'll learn a bit more each week. And bring it down. Last one. Return to the thighs there. Okay, so we've got our hands on our thighs. Let's check in with our posture. Are our feet flat on the ground? Maybe we need to have a tiny bit of space now between the legs. So we're getting a little bit of stability because we're going to be moving our arms out to the side of the body. That might make us a little bit more unstable. Please do lean against your chair at any point in time. If you need the chair to take some of your weight or posture, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to be forcing your core to do everything here. We want you to be relaxed. So we might be tucking the pelvis under a little bit at this point. So it almost like those pelvic tilts, but just slightly into it, maybe 30% into a full pelvic tilt. We're starting with the hands, yeah, same as we finished with the last one, but we're just going to pull the head up to the sky just slightly, so we're feeling that little bit of space that we worked with earlier through the spine here. So we'll start with the hands and then we'll add the neck into this. But if you are avoiding neck exercises, there's going to be a few neck ones here. So either just do a couple or take it really gently, or don't do that part. So I'm going to be opening my hands out to the side. So they'll be facing up to the sky at this point. And then I'm going to be returning them slowly. They're going to be turning back over. So my palm's going to be coming back to rest. We're going to do a breath in between these movements because I just want you to really check in and take it extra slow. So at this point, we'll take a breath. We'll just connect in with our points and take a nice breath here. Exhale. Relaxing the shoulders. And then we're going to go for an inhale and we're going to open out. So we're opening the chest and the lungs, getting a stretch between the wrists there. And then we're exhaling and we're coming back down. Hands can rest at this point. You can let go with the shoulders. You don't need to hold tension. Take a breath. And release. And then we'll get the arms going again. Opening out. And coming back in. And another breath. And take the arms out. Add a little pause in. Feel a nice stretch across the chest. And then bring it back in. So we're closing in at this point. Closing the front of the body off. And a breath. relax the shoulders, relax the body at this point. And opening out. Arm back in. And if that felt okay, you can just take your middle breath and watch me. At the next point, I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to open the arms out and I'm going to add in a look to the sky. It doesn't have to be as far as you can go. This can just be a gentle peer up to begin with. And bringing the head back down. So it'll look like this, opening up. Bringing the chin up, the eyes up. And bringing it back in. So there's quite a lot of chest movement now. So just take a pause in between still. Check in with those spaces. And then go again. Opening up, looking to the sky. Excellent. Pause there. We'll do one more of those. I don't want to overdo these. Opening up. And coming back in. Okay, awesome. Now just have a little wriggle and get a drink or pay a little bit of attention to yourself for a minute, because that was a lot of attention being paid on me. This is quite a lot to come into. New class, new time of year. Yeah, how am I doing for time?
6:25.
Okay. I always run over. I've got so time blindness that I'm like, yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, we're going to do a tiny bit more with the neck because we didn't do quite as much, and then we're going to move on because I've got a few more things to do before we end. Okay, so we're going to drop the chin now from center down to the chest. If you want to touch your chin at any point, if you need that sensory feedback, go for it. If you want to stop yourself from going full extension, you could always put a hand under the chin. So you know you're pausing and not going beyond your limits here. We're just bringing it up to center, dropping down, coming up to center. A few times. I can feel it already at the back of the neck there. I'm just going to do it a couple more times, but if we can add a bit of breath to it, that would be awesome. So I'd be inhaling while my nose is upwards, and then exhaling, dropping it down, and then inhale, bringing it back up. Maybe we can keep that same breath pattern, but go from center over to the shoulder. So breathing in, breathing out. We'll keep it on that same side. One more time on that side. And come back to center. And then we'll take it for a couple on the other side. Okay, we are going to go side to side now, but we're actually going to go a little bit further, at least with the eyes. So we're going to look behind us, look behind the shoulder. We're trying to keep the chin fairly straight here. Just having a little peer behind us. Slowly returning to center and then taking it the other side. The peer behind and come back. Once more on each side. And when you go back to the other side, we're going to look into the corner, so the corner behind us. So we're going to go around, but we're going to appear to the corner where the ceiling meets the wall. Return to center. Just once or twice of this on each side. Just once if you're taking it easy. This is the biggest stretch we will do with the neck. And return to center. And now if you have a particular neck movement that you like to do when moving the neck, go for that. I am going to do a little semicircle with the chin. But if you've got a preferred one for your neck motion, then go for that. And just return to center whenever you feel like you've got that going. We're going to do a couple of shoulder drops at this point because we might have got a little bit of tension building up. So we're going to breathe in, bring the shoulders up a little bit higher, and we're going to drop. Do it 3 times. Last one. Lovely. And let's get back to checking our posture because I know I have let mine slip. So feet are flat on the floor. The knees have got a little bit of space here. The knees are not going past the feet. Pelvis is a little bit tilted. Lean into your chair if you need to. And we're just pulling the spine up a little bit to join with the sky. So we've got this second connection point really working now, this sky point. Starry night sky as we've got in the evening, and we're going to lift the sky now, but we're going to do a little bit different to how we would do it standing up. So I'm going to bring my palms in front of my thighs. They are fingertips facing towards each other, but they're not quite touching. My palms are facing up through the body. So we're going to draw the palms up now. Going to come to about chest height. Then they're going to turn and we're going to push up to the sky. And then we're going to circle down. You can have them so that they're hanging for a minute at the sides if you feel like you need to get that full stretch down the body, and we get that little connection point into the ground there. And if you want to pause for longer at this point, you can. And then we'll bring the palms back up. And we're going to draw them up the center of the body, go to about chest height. Then we're going to start to turn and we're going to push up. And circle round. Excellent. Hands point towards the earth there. Perfect. Drawing up. So we're drawing chi up from the earth at this point, and we're bringing it up the center of the body through those points we worked with at the start. Turning, and then we're pushing up to the sky and release. Maybe you can release a bit of tension as you release some breath now. So let's try and match the breath. We'll do an inhale as we're drawing up. A little pause and a release. Release the breath, release the arms. Let's see if we can get into a little bit of a flow here. Draw the palms up. Draw the breath up. Hands to the sky and circle round. We're creating this lovely big circle with the body, and we're drawing chi up. Couple more. Really imagine bringing pure chi energy up from the earth, delivering it to those free centers, and joining back round to the earth again. Last one. And you can rest the hands wherever you want for a minute. Just have a little wriggle and check in. Okay. So, hopefully, is everyone's shoulders okay after that? Yeah, excellent. Okay, so we're going to kind of loosen the shoulders now, but I still was worried if it was a new exercise, you might put a bit of tension in there. This is a flowing movement. We are going to become glorious cranes now, and we're going to be cranes and we're going to flap our wings. So there's a gentle rising and a floating, and they can go wherever you want. These are your wings, and then they're turning and they're swooping back down. And as you get further into this movement, we want it to become a bit softer and silkier. Maybe you could imagine that we've got lovely silk draped over the arms and we're swooping it up and down, and it's glamorous and beautiful. And if you want to match the breath, I'd be doing an inhale as I draw up again. And exhale as I swoop my glorious wings back down. Lovely. The lungs should be feeling lovely and clear at this point. But I have got a sound for us to make next with the next movement, a sound for the lungs. And you can finish whenever you're ready. Just let the hands slowly come back down to the sides of the body. Okay. Check in with yourself, check in with those postures. We all forget. I was the example of that. So now we're going to lift one palm up. So my palm's going to face the sky now. And I'm going to draw that in to a point that's on my rib cage if I can. So wherever your arm can't go any further of your chest, stop, don't make yourself uncomfortable, just draw it in. This is like a motion of drawing in, and we're getting some contact here between that side of the body and the palm. So this is the first part of the movement. We get this drawing up to here. Now this hand is going to now start to turn and go out in front in like a chopping. So the palm is going to stay straight in front of us. And then it's going to start to come back to that point, drawing back in to the sides of the body if you can. Excellent. Let's do a couple more just like that. Yeah, you might notice, ladies, that my practice is starting to involve a bit of Tai Chi now. I can't remember if I don't think I've made an announcement, but I am officially now a student Tai Chi teacher as of this week as well. So you'll start doing a little bit more of Tai Chi as well. And then draw that back into the chest there. Hold it there if it's comfortable because we're working with a pressure point there. But if it's not, please feel free to pop it on the thigh there and give yourself a bit of a rest. We're now going to draw the other hand in. This will be matched into here. And we're going to lead that hand out. So we're chopping out, leading with the side of the palm. So the side that's making this contact with the body, that's almost going to lead the motion outwards. And now maybe we can try and add some breath. So we might exhale and inhale. So you might feel a little bit of power going through that hand, doing the breath like this and exhaling into it. And drawing in. Then and bring that back in. You can just pause now. We're going to try a few with alternating, okay? So we're going to be pushing out with one hand. Then we're going to draw it back in. And as we do, this one's going to start to come out. So they're almost passing each other. Coming back in. Chop. And drawing in. Chop. And can we just try a few with the breath? Bringing the oxygen in and pushing it out. Drawing it in and pushing it out. Excellent, ladies. Just a couple more. We're going to really stimulate at this point here now. And that's all going to go into the chest, into that heart space. Last one, drawing the palm into the body. Excellent. Yeah, you can keep your shoulders back. We're going to slightly change. So we're going to drop the palms down to the floor. Then they're going to rise up. So the palm's going to be facing away and they're almost kind of tucked in underneath there. And we're going to push out with one side. We're going to push out with the palm. We're going to relax the hand to the side, relax the fingers, and we're going to scoop chi over to the shoulder. You can turn the neck or the spine a little bit in that direction if it's comfortable. Going to give the shoulder a little bit of a rub and a squeeze. Where it's a little bit tender, that is a pressure point. And then we're going to come down to the chest now. We're going to push out with the other palm. Going to let that palm go. And we're going to scoop over to the shoulder. A little bit of a rub. And then the hands are going to cross over the chest here. Okay. We're going to have our hands just crossed over the chest. This doesn't have to be exact to start with. We're going to make a sound now. So there's some sounds that you make in Qigong. They're called healing sounds. This is a sound for the lungs as we've worked on opening them up so much. And it's a z sound. So like a Z, like you'd see in a cartoon where they're sleeping and there's lots of Zs. I don't know, for some reason I just associate this with having bees, lots of bees. So if you can imagine loads of bees and they're buzzing all inside you. So we're going to inhale, and on the exhale we're going to make the zzz sound, and you will really feel this in the lungs, and we're just paying a bit of attention to that vibratory effect through the body. So we'll do a few of these. Just go for it, whatever noise you want to make. We won't be doing it wrong. We're just going to inhale. 2 times. Whatever pitch it comes out at. Last one. Either loud or really quiet, you decide. Okay, last one, we are going to do quiet. Just make it like a snake sound now. Let every bit of air escape, almost like you're a balloon that's slowly being let out, and it's making the sweetest little sounds. And when you're fully relaxed, you can let your hands come away from the chest. Just have a little check in there, a little move, a little whatever you need to do. And I'm probably nearly out of time. So I'm just going to check. I know we were talking for a little. Oh no, I've gone loads over time. Okay. Can I just show you 2 pressure points before you go? Have you guys got time for that? Okay. So there's 2 pressure points. I just did a tutorial on, so I thought it'd be great just to show you guys in person as well. So I wrote them down again because I keep getting the name of one of them wrong. They are, one is directly under the earlobe. So if you go behind your earlobe and that natural dip that's behind your earlobe, this is called wind screen. Okay, this is the first point. So let's just give that a little bit of a rub and activation. We're going to add one more in a second, but I'll just tell you about this pressure point. So we're going to do 2 that are really good for helping balance the thyroid and the thyroid systems, and in turn the pituitary gland and the endocrine system. And they are also really good for your skin. So this one's called wind screen, and then we'll find the second one. So if you use 2 fingers now, and you use your middle finger to go into that point that was behind the ear. So your index finger will fall slightly below that now. It will be in a little dip that's behind the jawline. So you're not going past the jaw, it's in the neck. So if you were to have your fingers on your neck and you were to slide into that point, you will naturally go into these 2 dipped points. So you can activate all 4 of these points at the same time if you want to, if you use both fingers. So if we activate them now, we are activating all 4 points at the same time. Oh gosh, okay, I've lost both of my earpods with that motion. So yeah, this one is called Heavenly Appearance. These are also good for hives and all sorts of, skin allergies. Oh no, I've lost you. Can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but that was weird, but okay, as long as you can still see me, I'll just carry on for the minute. So yeah, these are used for the skin and the thyroid to balance. So yeah, with my Qigong, as we slowly learn a bit more, I do introduce, some pressure points here, all linked to acupressure. This traditional Chinese medicine all works on the same points. All the lines they talk about are the meridian lines. These are lines through the body. Qi and Qigong works on exactly the same principles. So it does involve some acupressure. And I'll slowly teach you them so you can sort of build up a little personal library, and when things go wrong, you can balance them yourselves. Okay, so acupressure, a couple of minutes on each point, and then you might feel that there's a warmth now behind the area, and you've done it. You've activated those points. So you've brought a little bit of extra balance to yourself at the end of the session there. So yeah, strangely, my screen has gone at the end there, so I can't actually see you. Let me see if I can adjust this. But if not, that is the end of the lesson. I can still hear you all though. So how was that for everyone? Sorry I've gone over. It's
That
just
was
with a little bit
lovely.
more introduction.
It was really
That was
good. I
great.
loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, fantastic. I am totally up for any kind of feedback. So if there was something that you were unhappy with in the lesson, you don't have to tell me. Feel free to email Leanne. We've got a really good system of communication, and I won't take anything personally. I prefer to know if there was something that I could improve on or make easier for you in the lesson. So thank you very much,
Thank
ladies.
you so much.
Thank you. I'm sorry
Happy
I
New
wouldn't
Year.